This is one of a number of support and tutorials for the silhouette animation for AAD376 Animation 1. So what I'm doing here is that this is going to be the project that I'm going to do. It's probably going to be more complex than what you're going to do. It's going to be kind of something about a tree of life and you know the fruit that it brings into the world and like the sun, the moon, things like that. So what I'm doing is that I'm kind of taking various motifs from around Asia, from Persia, India, Indonesia, a few things in myself, like these clouds. And so what I've done here is that I've made this collage. And the one thing is that I'm going to bring this into I'm going to bring this into After Effects as not something that's all in one piece, right? So it's just going to be a bunch of layers, a bunch of artwork that I'm going to bring in and use for assets, for pieces of the project. So in other words, it's like everything in one Photoshop file is, I'm going to have a bunch of layers that I'm going to use at different times. So in this case, these are primarily what you call, the things you use in the animation or props. I'm going to use a few advanced techniques that I don't expect you to know, but I'm just going to take you through everything that I'm working on. First of all, what I'm doing at this point, I'm just making just a series of things I'm going to use in the project. I have a couple peacocks. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use pinning on those to make the tail feathers go a little bit. The tree is also going to be pinned, so it moves a little. The clouds that you see are going to just be moved using keyframes. And then here's something that's very important, is that if you look over here, I've made all these, and these are all basically put in the same place. And oh, you know what? This should be the tree, not peacock. And then these are all in the same spot. But you notice there's a number of layers here that I don't have turned on. This is another thing. I'm going to have this kind of circular motif that's moving around itself, and I'm going to make this as an object called a pre-comp. So that'll be something that I'll cover in a very specific tutorial. And it'll be like a smart object or a group that you can use as a clip, and hopefully you might find that really useful. So let me just show you what this looks like. I'll get rid of the tree, and see, I took this motif and I separated it, and each of these is going to be turning in a different direction, and it'll be a loop. It'll fade in, and then I'm going to actually have two versions of it. One is going to be one that is fading in, and another one will be just a looping circle. So this is what I'm going to bring in. There are two other files that I'm going to use. Is that one, I'm going to make one for the birds that come out at the end. And then and I may actually animate all that first because of the fact that I like working in reverse, as you know. So we'll do that, but I'll have this thing for these birds I want to use, which I actually was using in some of the earlier tutorials. And then I'm actually going to do about 3 or 4 scenes. This is going to be 60 seconds. So that's not too hard. Um, Basically, just have groups of things that are shown at the same time, or this other thing called pre-comping. These things are pretty easy to make scenes within your project. So, um, what I'll do is that this is my one Photoshop. I think I'm going to have about 3 Photoshops that I'm going to import. And this is just kind of showing you the structure of it. So I'm going to end this particular tutorial, and then I'll meet you over in After Effects, where I'll meet you over in After Effects, where I'll import this, and we'll start working on. I'll probably start working on the pre-comp of this centerpiece. Maybe set up the general, the general composition, and for the first scene, and go from there.